welcome to another tutorial from Bello's Designs. My name is Linda and today's class covers the basics for creating this What's Up gift set. So today we'll be making this card with a matching envelope, a journal, which you can decorate on the inside if you want, and a matching bookmark. So let's get started. And this is Ginger, and that's Lavinia 799, and we'll be using the moon as well, Lavinia 431. So this is Versafine Clair. Fantasia is the color. These are wonderful inks. And this is Versafine Clair in the color Monarch. This is Versafine in the black. It won't run even if it gets wet. This is a applicator with a sponge dauber. Here's my Micron pen, great for detail work. It's black ink. These are my colored pencils by Castle Arts, titanium white, lemon yellow light, cornflower blue, and mauve. But you can use any colors you want. And here we go. This is what I'm going to show you. This is landscape right now. To the 11, it's 8.5 by 11 piece of heavy cardstock paper. Now we have it in portrait, and I'm showing you how this is going to be a top fold down card, A2 size. In order to get that, you need to use your cutting platform, measuring in at 4 1/4. Cut down the middle of that sheet, and now you want to turn it landscape and use the bone folder to put a crease in at the halfway point for 11 inches, which would be 5.5 inches. That's where you're going to crease it. And then when you can do that with both, and that's, I'm just letting you know, you get 2 A2 top fold cards folding down from one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper cut in half. Okay, now we're going to take that crease and put it to good use. And you want to bring the corners together nice and close and tight. Use your fingers, press hard to hold them in place, and then you just lightly pinch at the crease. And once you do that, then you can put it down and use your bone folder to press hard, and a hard surface really helps for that. That's why I took it over to the glass, and that's my glass mat. But you know what, that really puts a nice crease in your card. You want that. That's my waffle flower. The white there is the waffle flower mat. It's a small one. It's really nice for gripping the paper and holding it in place. This is Kraft papers. I believe it's called Cardstock because of the color. And this is my Tim Holtz Deckle trimmer. And it has special blades so that when you cut the paper, it looks like it's got a torn edge to it. I do love this trimmer. It's really nice. But if you don't have this kind of trimmer, you could try using a ruler and just tear along the edge of the ruler. You'll get the same results. Or you could buy a Deckle ruler. You'll get the same results. I just love this because it's really fast, and I can get very thin cuts if I need to. But here I'm going ahead and I'm taking my paper and I'm going to put it into the trimmer, because you want to cut what you're doing is you're cutting the front of your card. Okay, you already have the base done, but now you want to cut the front. So you need it to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. Now, because you have to cut every edge if you're doing Deckle, then you don't want to do that exact measurement right away because you have 4 sides to cut. Just make sure your end product is 4 1/4 by, or excuse me, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And here I'm going ahead and I'm trimming off some excess so that I can make sure it looks framed, and it does. And that's what you want. You want about 1/4 of an inch total frame going around the front of your card. This creates a really nice finished look. Okay, I'm setting that aside. And there we go. Okay, I've sped it up again. So you can see we have all the components together, including scrap piece there for the bookmark. And you can get these journals on Amazon. They're not expensive at all. I think I spent, I think you buy like 5 at a time, and they're, I think, $2.50 each when you do that. But they're great. Now you're going to grab your stamp and your stamp pad, and this is a Tim Holtz stamping platform that I'm using. It's because we're going to be stamping on the book. And then this right here, I just wanted you to see you can use the acetate as a placeholder for your stamp before you put the stamp down, and then close the lid. And lots of times I'm taking the platform off screen because of my camera. Sorry about that. Okay, I've sped it up a lot more now. There's a lot of paper compression going on. And I used the Holtz platform, like I said, because we're going to be stamping the book. And so right now we're doing the front of the card. It took me three tries before I could get the stamp looking just right. And some people can use blocks. I'm not very good at it, using the blocks, but platform allows me to keep stamping in the same place. And now we're going to the book. So originally I set the book up this way, and it wasn't right because I couldn't close the platform, and you'll see that in just a second. It wouldn't close all the way. And again, it's off screen a little bit because of my camera. I wanted to make sure that I didn't hit the camera. So I had to place the book on the platform this way in order to be able to stamp on it. If you're using a block, you wouldn't have this issue. But when you do use the Holtz platform, you got to be real careful so you don't break your platform. And if you do that, then it'll come out really nice. This is called a stamp cleaner scrubber. Just take your stamp and you just scrub it after spraying the form with water, and it's clean, really clean. Here I took out the moon stamp, and I've got a piece of paper underneath because I'm going to be over stamping and I don't want to get my platform dirty. I'm inked up. I used black this time instead of the Lost Shadow by Tim Holtz Distress Ink. I wanted to have a different look. Wanted you to see what would happen if you decided to go for a different look. Turned it over, pressed it again, but I did a second gen. That's called a second generation because it's lighter. And I didn't like that. So I'm re-stamping, and I decided I was going to try the Tim Holtz over the black and see what would happen. You got to experiment. And I didn't like that either. So I put it right back where it was, and I got the black out. So play around. Don't be afraid to experiment. Your bookmark, you've got scraps, so you can make lots of bookmarks. Don't worry about it. We'll come back to the bookmark a little later. And here's the front of the card. So now we're going to go into the coloring mode. Open up your inks, and here we go with the stomper with the foam. I always do my corners. I always do the darkest colors in the corners and then come in lighter towards the middle where there's more light. And then that way it gives it a really pretty frame to your piece. And that's what you're looking for. Once I get all the dark colors in there, I start in with the lighter color. And I go in further. And because, even though I'm using purples and plums, even though those are the colors I'm using, Looks really different against the Kraft paper. Here I decided to start with the lighter color first and then add in the darker on the creases and edges. And this is what you do all the way around. Straight. You can go, if you want some textured looks, you can go at an angle. You can swirl it if you want like a wispy look to it. You can go up and down straight if you want a more like, I don't know, like a wall texture. It's pretty cool what you can do with the different sponges. And if you're not careful, if you're heavy-handed, it has a lot of ink on it, you can make circles. Now that may be what you want. I like a more blended look, but I do like texture too. And here I'm going on the edge of, or the binding of the book. Dark at the ends, lighter in the middle. That way someone could still write on the binder if they wanted to. Doing it again at the back of the book with the darker color. On the back of the book, I decided to go lighter than the front, adding less color than I did on the front. It's fun. This is really fun to do. And you can carry this through to the inside too if you want to, but I chose not to for the purposes of the video. Okay, here we go. We're going to add a branch for this owl to stand on. That's why he's lopsided, because he's on a branch. Anyway, branches aren't hard to draw. Anybody can do it. Just follow the repeating pattern of lines to create the bark and texture, and add some leaves. It's kind of like making a closed V or elongated D or P without a stem. And I apologize, I accidentally cut the filming. There we go. Now we're back. And right here I am coloring in with the black pen the eyes. I want to make those nice and dark. Coming back in now with white colored pencil. And I'm using the pencil in such a way so there's white, and then there's no color, and then there's white, and then there's no color, repeating pattern, skipping a feather. That way I can go back in with a darker color and fill in those spaces with the blues. And here I go with the darker color. It really makes it pop when you do that. I've done the lighter colors before. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the lighter color right now. I go in with the darker because I needed more contrast. There we go. I just wanted to mention the other owl I had done was all light purple with white. And it came out cute, but it just couldn't compare to the dark, deep purple contrast that you get when you have a mixture of the blues with the white. You can use any colors you want. I even chose to make it the owl's belly or the ginger's belly golden with the yellow, which was fun. You can choose any colors you want. I gave this owl white feet with yellow breast, and then purple and white feathers on a branch. And don't be afraid to leave blank spots. You don't have to color in every single feather. You don't have to even color in the branch. I chose not to color in the branch. It helped to allow the owl to really stand out. So you can choose to do it either way. Be as creative as you want. It's really fun. It's all up to you to make this your own. And here we go. We're just going to watch the rest of the coloring. There you go, see? That's the difference. Now I have to color the front of the card. Starting with the black ink for the eyes. Make those nice and deep. Need to give you a tip. I tried embossing with this stamp, but there's so many fine detail lines that the embossing came out looking muddied. And that was with fine embossing powder. So keep that in mind when you want to consider embossing with a stamp. Look at the details. And if you think maybe there might be too many details for that stamp to emboss, then do a test with it first. And if it comes out great, then you know you're good to go. But you're not going to spoil your project if you do a test run on the project you've been working on and spending all the time on. I continually turn my pencil within my hand because you wear down one side and it automatically creates a sharpened side on the other side of the pencil. So if you keep turning it in your hand, then you keep having a sharp point. These are colored pencils by Castle Arts. I adore them because they're very creamy and easy to use and a lot like Prismacolor, but I'm actually preferring this now. And now the front with double stick tape is going to go onto your card base. There you go. There's your card. There they are together. You can choose to do something on the inside or not. And here I'm showing them side by side. And on the bookmark, I edged it with some ink. I didn't get too fancy with it. Made it simple. Used a dark color. Makes it stand out a little bit. I'm using the flat of the yellow to create a kind of halo glow going around the moon. And I'm doing that on both sides. Grabbing my Micron pen to write "What's up?" And if you want to copy this kind of writing, I call it my dot font. Because wherever there's an end of a line, I put a dot. Wherever two lines cross, I put a dot. So, dots aren't coming out too much on the screen, but that's a little trick you can do. And now finishing up with the envelope, just like with the bookmark. Thank you so much for watching. And you can find most of the supplies for today's tutorial listed below and on DeBellosDesigns.com. Continue your fun and make friends. Join DeBello's Designs 2 Facebook groups, DeBello's Designs a la carte and DeBello's Designs Lounge. Give a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and press that notification bell, and you'll never miss another fun video. Love and hugs. Bye.